Hey everybody, it's your buddy's pal Anthony here, and with me tonight is the boss, Mr. Archer himself. It is, as of recording, it is Sunday, July 24th. San Diego Comic-Con is come and gone. Uh, there's way too much to unpack from that. We're not going to hit everything. We're going to hit the stuff that we're going to talk about, that we want to talk about, and we're going to catch up on what we're watching, some things we finished a little while ago and missed. Uh, but first and foremost, San Diego Comic Con. Steve, roll that intro, please. So, uh, again, I feel like every week I do something or don't do something, and I feel like I have to turn in my nerd card. San Diego Comic Con happened. Little Comic Con, right? Little. It's just getting started, or is it
You, you
something
know,
that should have been on my radar?
I couldn't even tell you if it happened last year. I don't think it did. I think this is the first one in like the 3 years, right? Maybe.
Right? I mean, well, no, because New York Comic Con happened last year,
Yeah, but
but
California
I
had stricter rules. I
they
think
didn't
this is
even
the
do
first
like a
one.
virtual. All right,
Well, you
but
had
still,
the like some of the vendors did their own little things like
the
hot toys.
fandom, the DC fandom.
Yeah, so you had like that, and then
Yeah,
like some of the vendors like hot toys did like their own thing, and people could go there. But it was really media only. It wasn't. There wasn't a lot of like, oh, I'm just a fan, I want to go type of thing.
right.
Yeah.
Um, so first and foremost, we're gonna talk a couple trailers.
A couple
Uh,
trailers drop.
since technically you are my guest, where would you like? What would you of the four? What would you like to discuss first, sir?
Well, I'm gonna shameless plug that
Do it.
it took me a long time to do, and I thought it was not gonna take me a long time. But I did 4 trailer reactions in 5 videos, so you could check that out here on Nerd Affiliated. Um, I would like to save Wakanda Forever for last,
Okay, I'm
and
fine with that.
I say actually we'll go the order of that video I did, which is let's go Shazam and Black Adam. We could talk about either one. I feel like they're
Okay.
intertwined.
Yeah. Um, I can knock Black Adam out real quick from my point of view if you
Go,
want.
yeah, go for it.
It, I nothing about it. I mean, I don't know. It didn't really do anything to grab me. Like
Struggle City.
it's, it just seems like I'm not, like we've said, I'm not happy that they're going to go right to making him an anti-hero.
Yeah,
You know, he should just be coming back like with a vengeance, and it should basically be Black Adam versus the Justice Society of America.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
uh, you know, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really
It's weird.
good thing you didn't. Good thing you didn't ask. It's a good thing you didn't ask me to do a reaction video, because I'd be like, all right, so links below, get some merch. Yeah. I mean, personally, it was just I was watching it. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm interested. I want to see what they do, but it's not because of Black Adam. I want to see what they hint at and what they tease with Hawkman and Atom Smasher and Doctor Fate and anybody else I might have missed. I'm not necessarily I'm not going there for Black Adam. I'm not
Right.
going there for The Rock. I just want to see what else happens. And yeah, why? Why build to him being an anti-hero? DC has no friggin' patience. They just want, you know, they want to be. I mean, I can't say they want to be Marvel, but they just have no patience to like build on anything. That's not
No,
Batman. They don't
no.
have any patience. It just has to be done by the end of the first movie. And I'm willing to bet that you can be the savior of this world line from Doctor Fate.
Mm,
I'm willing to bet that happens by the end of the first act.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean, the I think the problem you have is not every movie and TV show can pull off like a Clone Wars or pull off I feel like I had another example and I lost it, but or even Kenobi to a certain extent. Like, not every show can pull off that you already know the ending going into it, and you somehow are still intrigued and you still get sucked in, even in just the hype, like prior
Right.
to seeing it. And this one, I'm like, we know that these heroes live on, or they're, they pass their mantles on. We know
Yeah.
that Black Adam has to fight Shazam, but the fact that he's not fighting Shazam in Shazam 2, according to what we've seen so far, that's where I'm like, what's the point? I don't need an origin story for this guy. Like the Superman Shazam animated movie, which if any of you have not checked out, you need to watch that. It's like 40
Very good.
minutes. It's like 40 minutes. And they knock out the backstory of Black Adam in like not even a minute. Like, it's just like bam, 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 move on, because that's really it. And here I'm like, you're already messing up by it not being connected to Shazam. And
Hmm.
it takes place years before all that stuff. So I'm like, I don't see why I should care. And on top of that, they said the Snyderverse is no longer. So that already
Question.
ruins. Yep.
For those of you, obviously, none of you can see me. I raised my hand
He
politely.
did raise his hand.
Uh, what makes you say it's happening years before Shazam?
Is that not already established in like the online plot points? And
Oh, I haven't read any. I've just seen the trailers. I haven't read any synopsis or anything. I figured it was just. I assumed, which is my mistake, but I just assumed it was happening somewhere in the current timeline of Shazam, with Shazam being like the starting point. I was just assuming that Black Adam happened after Shazam.
no. Yeah, because it's the Justice Society that's in that movie. Um,
Yeah, but it
and
looked like it was still modern times, like the
but like
technology,
the
the ships and
90s,
stuff.
like yes, there is that. They have like their Black Panther ship that looks futuristic,
Yeah.
but the vehicles are all like 90s. So
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
could be wrong, but even as I look here, um, everything I'm seeing online is that it's a prequel to Shazam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mm,
which
not
again
happy about
makes
that,
it
but
makes this decision also stupid. Like, you literally had a Green Lantern scenario again. They released a Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. Movie's terrible. You could get through it, but it's terrible. And Sinestro's not in it, but you have some other villain do whatever, and then that movie springboards to what would be Sinestro being the villain in the next one. Um,
yeah,
Doctor Strange Part 1. Mordo is not the bad guy in the first one, but it springboards into his creation to be a villain in the second one. Both
right.
Doctor Strange 2 and um, Shazam 2 do not have his main villain as the main villain in their respective movies.
Yeah,
Stupid.
and they hint at it. They show you Black Adam's empty chair at the in
Yeah.
the Rock of Eternity.
Yep.
But okay, sorry. Continue, please.
No, I mean that's like I was googling just now actually. Um, I remember I was in a movie theater and a mom was there. A mom was there with her son or daughter. And I remember I was on 86th Street in Manhattan and the mom was like, "Oh," and I couldn't remember what the movie was, but I remember I was wearing a t-shirt. And it came back to me. It was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle t-shirt. She was like, "Oh, are
Okay.
you here to watch that movie?" And I was like, "No, just coincidence. I'm here to watch whatever it was I was watching." And I asked her like, "Oh, but how was it?" And I went to Google to see like what could it have been at that time, and it was a Michael Bay one. And
Ugh.
she was like, "It's funny you asked that because my son or daughter, I can't remember who it was, has like autism, like not super bad, but not good either.
Mhm.
Enough where she was like, I try to get the kid to explain things in detail as like practice for having conversations. And when I asked the kid how was the movie? They said, I don't know. And I was like, but you have to explain it. And they were like, no, I don't know. Like the movie just happened. And the mom was like, she went to see the movie again with the kid because she had nothing to do and was like, holy crap. That like, I literally felt nothing in this movie. And
Yeah.
that's how I feel watching the trailer to Black Adam and Shazam, I'm sure we'll go into Shazam next, but
Yeah.
I just feel nothing. I'm like, all right, cool stuff. You're here. The Rock is there.
Yeah.
The Rock's being Rock. So
Yeah.
I hope
Exactly.
we're wrong. I really do because we both
It'd
love
be
DC.
nice. Yeah, DC needs to get their act together
Yeah,
again with more than just Batman.
more than
But
Batman. Yeah,
it, yeah, and as you said, rolling right into Shazam too. Like I was a little bit more like, oh, okay, I'm interested by this. Like, although, and it makes sense. Like I don't necessarily if it's like one scene, like where he's in the pediatrician's office, and I thought he was in a shrink's office, but the uh, Shazam is like talking. If it's just like one scene, okay, but I don't want to keep going back and forth to. I don't want to see him in therapy. Like I hope that was just like a throwaway scene, and I'd be okay with that. But yeah, no, please don't. I don't want to watch this guy in therapy the entire time. I'd rather watch, like I've said, put Bucky Barnes in therapy for his own show, and I'll
yeah,
watch the shit out of that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was a little bit more intrigued just because I did enjoy the first Shazam a lot more than I thought I would. Like that came out with Infinity War, right? Or did it come out with Endgame? Uh, I'll check.
I was gonna say it may have even been freaking Ant-Man. I think it might have been Ant-Man.
No, because a guy I work with, he said he enjoyed it. He said he enjoyed Shazam better or more than whichever one it was, Infinity War or Endgame, and I will find out right now because I was like, how could you possibly be saying that to me
So
right
Shazam is
now?
April 5th, 2019.
Okay, so
Infinity War was 2018. So Endgame was a week after.
okay, so yeah, he said he enjoyed Shazam more than Endgame, and I was like, oh, how? Like Shazam was good, like that first one was good, but anyway, I digress as I have a tendency to do. Uh, I'm more intrigued by Shazam 2. I think Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu were interesting, like, and at least Mirren definitely has acting chops she can bring to this, so it would be interesting to see exactly what she does with it. Although she also did Fast and Furious, so who the hell
Which
knows?
which which they
Which
call out in the
I
goddamn
know
trailer.
that was great. Um, yeah, I'm more intrigued by this, but it's still end of the day, like nothing I've seen, and as we both, and actually I think all four of us agree, us, Sal, and Aaron. I think we all agree. The more that they release, the less, the worse it looks. Type of
Yeah,
thing. I can't phrase it properly right now,
yeah.
but yeah, nothing I've seen so far has really. I'm not going to run to see these. Like, definitely not a midnight movie. Either of these. I'll probably see it within the first week because of this, but beyond that, like it'll like unless I hear like amazing word of mouth stuff, it'll be like a quick matinee and type of situation. So unfortunately, DC has two strikes, and considering they only showed two trailers, they're out for me.
I mean, another trailer that's there is a Sandman, which
Oh,
we didn't. Did you
touche.
watch it? I didn't watch it.
I did watch it
Oh,
quickly
okay.
beforehand. Did you?
No, I just don't know enough about Sandman to like give an honest opinion. I guess.
So I don't either. I do have the books, and I started to read it, and then everything, the tests I keep saying that I'm studying for, first popped up. So I said, okay, leisure reading goes to the side. Uh, so I did start it. It is interesting. I will say I really like Neil Gaiman's his comics, but also like his books,
Mm-hmm.
his novels and whatnot, his short stories. And I did watch the trailer, and that does look very intriguing to me. I have to I would have to watch it again and like do some more research because like yourself, I'm not 100% well versed in it. Like I think I read the first book of the trade, and then that was where I had to put it down. But so yeah, excuse me. So there are two strikes for three trailers. Uh, so yeah, but that one that does have my interest. I'll definitely watch that, and then kind of like with Thor, I'll go back and read the God Butcher series that it's based on, and compare it after the fact. But
My
yeah, that I'm sorry.
well, something that I kind of am hoping happens here. I'm gonna give my prediction. So Shazam, the powers got split amongst the other orphans, just like Thor. And
Yeah,
in the entire trailer, they didn't even bother take the CGI out of the black on the suit. They left that in. But I feel like Shazam is losing his powers or is just not strong enough to fight the two villains, Daughters of Atlas or something like that, I think it was called.
yeah,
So my prediction is they give their powers to Shazam, or they when they say Shazam going forward, it's like all of them fusing into the one Shazam person. The
right.
reason I want that to be a thing is I'd love for them to just take that into Flashpoint, just like in the animated movie, kill Shazam by killing the kids, and then
Right.
reset everything. But I highly doubt they're gonna go that route.
I don't think they're going to go that route, but I am glad you mentioned that because I did think it was weird. Like it seems like there were points in the trailer where the kids were like facing like head to head. I think it was a dragon or
Yeah,
something, and I was like, well, wait, why don't they just change?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, I thought that was
They're
weird too.
riding the
And
unicorns like they don't have their powers or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And that's weird because I didn't know. I didn't realize. I thought Shazam, even though he has the Shazam family, I thought they all have the same powers. Is it just that because he split them, all their powers are just dumbed down because it's so diluted?
It might be like the god Shazam splits amongst whoever
The chosen
the
ones.
chosen ones are or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I
And that's
I
actually another thing. How is he back?
how's who back?
Shazam, the wizard. Didn't he die in the first one?
I
I
thought
could
he
have
did
sworn
too.
he like
I thought he did
yeah,
too.
I
But
thought he turned
yeah,
to
yeah,
he dusted.
yeah.
Yeah. So he did a vampire from Buffy's moment and turned to stone and dusted away.
There's another show we'll talk about later where I thought somebody died and then they were back and I was like, oh. And then I watched a pitch meeting and they actually pointed that out and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't make that up. All right, cool. So yeah.
Interesting.
Um, what about
So
she?
are you gonna
Oh,
watch
sorry.
it? Well, I was gonna say sorry. So last thoughts on Shazam. When are you, unless barring something to change our minds based on what we've seen so far, and assuming which they won't, but assuming they stop and don't put out another damn teaser or clip, when are you planning to see it?
I would only go watch it if it's good enough. I think you guys would have to, unless by some whatever twist of fate we end up getting an editor for the channel, it would have to be so good that you guys go see it and then you guys do a review of it and then I have to edit the
Right,
review, that I would say, okay, I'd rather it be spoiled by me watching it than you telling me. Even though I love your reviews and Sal's reviews, that's the only way. If it's mediocre and you guys see it and you want me to edit it, I will edit it and then watch it later. But
right.
it's gonna have to be good for me to actually like, take my ass to the theater to watch it in the first 2 weeks. Like
I got you.
Thor, the only reason I saw Thor was I felt like the fan base was pretty split on how they felt. And after watching it, it was like a lot of people I know who like Thor generally like all the Disney Marvel stuff and they like Disney as well. So the humor
Hmm.
doesn't bother them. But it's the other group that hated it. So I wasn't sure going into it like where I would fall. So I was like, all right, I do need to review this or watch it so that we can all review it. But with this one, I'm if I was a betting man, I would say I'm gonna edit the reviews and release reviews before I actually watch it.
Gotcha. And actually, sorry, before we move on,
Mm.
one thing I did think was interesting.
Technically, it's your show, so
Uh,
you could. I like it. Just my brain just went, and I was trying to move us, thinking I was the moderator today, but it's you.
all
So
good.
I'm sorry.
No, all good. But I did like, and it makes you scratch your head and say, well, what are they doing? Because I mean, they flash to, no pun intended, they show other heroes in the DC EU,
Yeah,
and it's very clearly Batfleck, and I mean, no
yeah,
shock that it's Momoa's Aquaman.
yeah.
They don't show the
The
Flash's
face.
face,
Yep.
even though the suit is very clearly the one that we've seen. Can I say his name? Will we get pulled for this?
No, you could say it.
Uh, Ezra Miller. Uh,
It's like
I
Voldemort. You
don't
can't
want to
say the
say.
name.
Just don't say it. Yeah, I was gonna say don't say it two more times because like Beetlejuice, he'll appear and I don't know, beat me up. Uh,
I mean, I think you'd be happy if Michael
so
Keaton just showed up and.
Michael Keaton, yeah, sure, but Beetlejuice, he seems like I mean, good movie, but he's a dick. Uh, he tried to marry a child.
True.
Uh, should have just waited until she was an adult. I digress. But yeah, so like that made me that actually what that is why I got more intrigued by this trailer because I saw that and I perked up and I was like, oh, where else are we gonna see here? And then that was the only thing. But yeah, it's very weird to me that with why even show Batfleck?
Yeah.
You know, if he's done after Flashpoint, which or whatever the hell they end up calling it,
Yeah.
why show him like show the silhouette like they did or like they would have done in Peacemaker, you know. But yeah. So that just would did that do anything for you, or you were just like, oh, okay, whatever. They couldn't be bothered to.
Well, I'll spoil my thoughts from the reaction video, but it made it worse because they said Snyderverse is done, and then referenced Snyderverse in this trailer, and it's very reminiscent of Daredevil gets canceled, Jessica Jones gets canceled, Luke Cage gets canceled, Iron Fist gets canceled. Hey guys, Punisher season 2 is coming out, and I was like, I'm definitely not watching it now, like because I know you're gonna cancel it.
Yeah,
And sure enough, it got canceled
yeah,
like the week before it came out. So that's how I feel with this. Like that's an added level of I really don't care because you're gonna reset this anyway. And
right,
there's a chance if it's anything like what happened with Punisher, you guys may have just checked out. Like you guys might be releasing these movies just cause at this point to finish whatever contracts, and then you're gonna restart it. So it makes me even
yeah,
less inclined because they showed that.
yeah. Which is sad because I did really again I did we'll move on after this I swear I did really enjoy the first Shazam. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it a whole hell of a lot more than I thought I would,
yeah.
and I do like Zachary Levi, however you say his name,
Mm,
and like even I don't know their real names, but all the child actors were great too, and I'm glad that they're all back. So I don't know. I'm just tired of reboots. Just like make
yeah.
be brave, make some decisions, clean up your friggin' continuity, and do a soft reboot. But like for Shazam, all you got to do is change out the clips you've used, and we're good.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving right along. Attorney at law.
Yeah. Wait,
What?
Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, or She-Hulk, attorney at law?
Let's go with She-Hulk, attorney at law.
Damn. Okay.
That has to be a Hey Archer. I am not. I used to watch the Bird. I watched the Birdman cartoons
Yeah.
on reruns on Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
but never got into Birdman
Har-
Attorney at Law.
so good.
Harvey Birdman. Sorry.
So good.
Do you remember Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Yep.
That was a weird friggin' show.
It was.
Uh,
I remember when it first came out. It would come out on Friday nights. I don't.
yes.
I don't know if they even had Adult Swim yet, technically, but it was what would become Adult
It
Swim.
was late.
Yeah. And I remember watching it and like I didn't get the jokes or the humor or
Oh yeah.
anything, but I was like, I'm gonna keep watching it because I feel like I'm not supposed to be watching this, so I'm gonna watch it.
Yes. Exactly. I would. I'm sure it has to be online someplace.
Yeah,
I'd watch an episode or two now just to see.
I think
But
it is actually on Cartoon
I'm
Network
sure it is. It's
or
got to be
Adult
on.
Swim's YouTube.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's probably on HBO Max because I feel like I saw Cartoon Network stuff on
Oh
there.
yeah, it actually might be there.
But She-Hulk. Does it look? Do you think it looks any better? Like the CG stuff.
No, I think they're leaning into it. They're like F it. People are complaining about it. Where you know what? Instead of going back and trying to make it better, we're running out of time. We're just gonna say that that's how it's supposed to look, and they're just gonna move on.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like they have so much damn money. Like, can't they just create like another studio or something to do this?
Somebody, I don't know if it was Instagram or a YouTube video, whatever, but somebody actually made a comment the other day. Um, they were quoting an actor or actress, and they were like, "Oh, Marvel treats us so good, and like I think so treats the directors okay, but like the VFX people get treated like shit because
Yeah.
they're like, where is it? Get it to me now! Like, hurry up, turn it around!" Like, so you know, I will continue. I'll let you.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, I'm sorry, kind of the same thing. I'm not. I'm like, all right. It's like I don't get it. She's gonna break the fourth wall because she talks to us. She, you know, Banner is trained, or Bruce Banner is training her, and because even though she reverts back, like she's in control in both forms. Wouldn't you just you know stay human? I guess it doesn't make. It seems weird. And again, I'm not well versed in the She-Hulk comics, so I can't say if she did go back and forth and have control both times. But yeah, same thing. Like this trailer kind of left me like flat until the last 10 seconds, uh, and then I got interested, and then it was over. But
Yeah, that's almost like its own
I mean, it
trailer.
seems that
What
what?
that what you just referenced there. Sorry, I just got to blow my nose. What you just referenced there
Uh,
is almost like its own trailer. Like that's its own entity to that entire thing.
yeah, it's crazy. Uh, but yeah, I mean, again, I'll watch it eventually. Like I have to watch Miss Marvel. I just haven't had the time, but I can't. Again, I can't. I don't think I'm being too harsh. It's just like I don't get it. Like,
I mean,
and
we don't have, but like
weird.
we don't even have a choice. It seems like because they everything is somewhat tied together. So like it's almost like you have to watch it now, especially a show like that because that show is going to have
Yeah,
various villains in it.
yeah, and like Wong showing up was interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, and but yeah, I don't know. And it's like I don't want to see Hulk like he's being a petty asshole. Like he's getting jealous because like she is stronger, it seems, or like she can do all the yoga shit, and he's having it's like I don't know. I feel like they're gonna try to play it for comedy, and it's just not. I mean, based on the trailer, it's not making like it just like he punches her off a cliff, and she flips him the bird. Okay, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Again, until the last 10 seconds, which we'll talk about in a minute, uh, I was just watching it to watch it.
You know,
And I can't get past the CGI. Like it
yeah.
looks good, but it doesn't look as good as it can look, and it's just weird and irritating because it seems like they take forever to put this stuff out. So it's like, and they have these huge long plans. Why wouldn't you want it to look good? Like it's the same thing with like I mean with Spider-Man, No Way Home, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man like his neck looked way like thick as shit when I saw it in theaters, and then when I've seen it on TV and I'm told people who saw it multiple times in the theater that it looked better.
Hmm.
It's like so you can fix it, you can tweak it, but you choose not to with this, and you're gonna. I'm assuming they're gonna try to set her up going forward to eventually become part of the Avengers.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna be
You know?
the the Thunderbolts, right? The She's gonna be in that group. I think it's the
Maybe.
Thunderbolts.
I don't know. It is
Well,
Thunderbolts.
well, the Thunderbolts are their own thing. And I think that's where I'm sorry, General Ross, R.I.P. The Thunderbolts. I don't think she's in that. So maybe that other dude's gonna be in it. That she's like, oh, he fought my cousin before, which
Yeah.
was their way of making sure we all know Incredible Hulk is canon. Um,
Yeah.
but she's gonna be the new Avengers. Like they're doing this, they're doing the mantle pass, right? You have Hulk, you're gonna have Ironheart, you're gonna have Captain America, Falcon, like all these people
Hmm.
who are not the OGs as the new Avengers running around. So it's definitely where they're going with it. But I mean, it's just to earlier points outside of this episode. Maybe stuff is not for us anymore because I'm like, how much humor is going to go into every single thing, and another
Yeah.
show where they break fourth wall. I'm like, all right, I get it. Like we're funny, like we want kids to watch it, but like, give me like other stuff. And maybe that's where the point you're going to bring up. Maybe that's where that show does it for us. But I was watching the trailer and I'm like, all right, another comedy. Maybe I would have felt
Yeah.
differently if Thor wasn't a comedy. And I watch this and be like, oh, because that's
Yeah.
the other thing too. Like it being like Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, that show was a comedy, and every episode he was defending a different villain from his rogues gallery in court, and
Okay.
it's funny. Like it's stupid, but it's funny. So like they're definitely doing that here. And there's some villains people want to see that they're like, oh, I heard rumors that this person's here, that person's here, like wacky villains. And I think if not for, Thor, if not for even moments of Hawkeye with a comedy, uh, with like Black Widow or her sister, like I feel like there's
Right.
just so every single show funny, 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 funny. And I'm like, all right, I don't care. Like I give me another. I'll just watch reruns of Justice League
Yeah.
at this point.
Yep. Uh, I did another little thing I noticed with Hulk. Uh, it seems like his arms are fine, so it makes me
Right?
wonder how far after Endgame is this, or are we gonna kind of like with Black Adam? Is it gonna be like I guess prequel is the word? Is it just gonna be set earlier in the MCU timeline? To
No,
maybe it's during the snap, or maybe it's no.
after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's after. Everything.
Okay.
They're not really doing prequels like that anymore. Not
Well, I
not
just meant like maybe like the training montage type that I'm assuming
no,
we're gonna see. You
because they
know?
would have explained why she wasn't. I mean, she would have. Their Eternals was an issue in itself with like where were they this whole time. So like
Right.
they're done with that. They're just going forward. Um, I'm pretty sure it's Damage Control that might have Abomination, and they were introduced in Miss Marvel and something else I can't remember. So it's definitely after Endgame. Um, but I mean, Hulk has a healing factor too, so maybe they just tie into that. But or they
Maybe,
just forget.
but it seemed like I don't know. It seemed like I feel like I remember reading something where it was like, oh no, like and it, like no, no, no. There's real effects. There's lasting effects that to him making the snap and surviving the snap.
Yeah,
So, I mean, obviously they could have just said to hell with it, or maybe I'm wrong, but
Did you watch
in any case,
did you watch the pitch meeting yet for Thor Love and Thunder?
no, no. I needed a minute after that movie to before I dealt with anything
Oh,
else
that's right.
about
We
that
haven't even
movie.
talked about that movie. Holy shit, I just realized that.
We haven't. We that one. I mean,
We'll need Sal. Yeah.
we're really yeah. We need Sal for that one 100%, and
Yeah.
Sal still has to give his thoughts on Obi-Wan. But
Wow.
yeah, I know we're really dragging ass.
Um
Uh,
well,
but I
I was
mean, I'd rather go back and talk about Obi-Wan than
Thor.
than Thor.
Yeah.
Frankly,
Yeah.
sorry, spoilers. Uh,
Well, the what they mentioned in pitch meeting, a spoiler for that, is they're like, "Oh, and like in Asgard we're going to have like what was it called? Like the Snap ice cream shop or something like that."
the Infinity Cones
The
ice
Infinity
cream shop.
Cones. And they're like, "Don't you feel like that's a little bit like, there was a major event that kind of like ruined millions of lives and like did all these things. It kind of be like the 9/11, hot dog stand or
Yeah,
something." Like they're like, "No, no, no, it's fine. Like people forget about it."
yeah. No, that really was like, yeah, that was in poor taste. I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and all right, you brought it up. Last thing I'll say about it, I didn't like, and spoilers, brief spoilers for Thor. Uh, we good?
Yeah.
I don't like how they turned themselves into fucking Disney World, the Asgardians.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, you're
Yeah.
really like, okay, that like, yeah.
I watched a
Anyway,
TikTok and the person was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, you guys are looking at this movie the wrong way. Remember, the movie starts off with Korg talking to kids about Thor. So the movie is humorous because it's actually Korg's interpretation of what happened." And I was like, "No, man. No. No.
yeah,
That's not it. That's not it at all. Don't do that. Don't do that."
yeah, no, yeah. I'm okay with some humor here and there, but I think let me not even start because then we're going to talk about that and we have a bunch of other stuff to get to.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow, we're already
but
almost 40 minutes in.
ah, oh crap. Sal, get us your schedule, Sal.
Yeah.
All right, the big one, Wakanda Forever.
Oh, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
what?
You skipped the best part, the only talking point worthy part of She-Hulk.
Oh, well, yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I did. I'm sorry. I didn't. I don't know.
Did it get you excited or no?
It did get me excited. Yeah, we're talking about Daredevil leaping into frame, barrel rolling or whatever it's called, and I, I mean, I paused it a bunch, and I'm pretty sure, like I've seen some, like from the stills that I've seen, it seems like he's gonna have a little bit of yellow in this costume, which
Yeah.
is interesting.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, that definitely got me excited, but not for the show, for that one scene that we're gonna get and then we're not going to see him again in the rest of the show series or whatever, just like in No Way Home. So it got me very excited. I want to see the costume. I want to see what they've done to it. I want to see what they hint at, if they hint at anything. But then it also makes me sad because I have to wait a year and a half or 2 years or whatever it is, 2024, right? So yeah, a year and a half at this point
Hmm.
uh, for his series. So
I mean, I think don't get me wrong, I liked it. It would have probably hit more if he wasn't in No Way Home. Is that what it's called? I always forget because the names are all so similar.
yeah, that's
So if he wasn't there and we didn't already know that Daredevil was back and going to be a show, I think I would have been more like, "Holy shit." Also, if the trailer was just better, I probably would have been like, "Holy shit." And they
yeah.
got Daredevil. Crazy.
That's that's like one of those things where they shouldn't like the fact that they show that when I stop to think about it more tells me how lacking this show might be
that they had to
to
do that.
where you have like it makes sense. Yeah, exactly. It makes
Yeah.
sense to have Hulk in there. He has to train her up. Blonsky and Jamil's character, Titania, I want to say,
Hmm.
maybe. Anyway, those are villains, or
Right.
maybe Blonsky is a little bit anti-hero now. But like to show that should have been like in No Way Home, because that should have been like a surprise moment where she's having issues, she's trying to, you know, and she's like, oh, I gotta get some help on this one. Oh, you're gonna call in a consult? Yeah, kind of. And then like she's on the rooftop or whatever, and he leaps into frame,
Hmm.
and we should have been shocked. And then that would have been like, because also like, come on, it's the first time Daredevil's going to be on screen in the current, like, as he's part of, excuse me, in costume. Obviously, we're going to get the proper Daredevil reveal, the costume and everything, and that should have been like a, oh my god, did you see that moment? But now I know it's coming because of the trailer, and that's the only thing that's really going to draw me into the show now is like, well, when does it happen? When is he
Right.
going to show up?
Right.
How long is it going to be there?
Right.
So yeah. So brief elation, and then the more I thought about it, it's just like, oh man, I'm gonna probably have to watch a very subpar show
Just
to
for that.
get to it,
Yeah.
just for that. And hopefully it's same thing. Like you gotta like how much is gonna be like slapping your knee comedy or attempts at slap your knee comedy uh in She-Hulk, and what are they gonna do with him? Is it gonna rub off on Daredevil? Like I've said, if that's what you're going to do, leave that version of Daredevil dead and buried on Netflix, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sorry,
It's scary. Scary times.
it is. It's and it shouldn't be. Like I mean, 10 years and the payoff we got, and then it's just like they should have stopped. I'm not saying they should have stopped making the movies, but they should have taken a break. They should have like gotten their ducks in a row. They could have done the TV shows. It should have been like maybe a year or two of just Disney Plus series, setting everything up. And then you launch us into Fantastic Four or Wakanda Forever, after a 2 year of like, okay, everybody's post Endgame shell shock and everything.
Yeah.
So, anyway, may I move on now, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
I've been talking for a minute. What do you think about Wakanda Forever?
Yeah. So again, a spoiler for my video that I released here on the channel. I left it for last because somebody told me that they cried while watching the trailer. A one Billy Nichols of a bunch of nerds, a bunch of nerds. Actually, I'll be on a bunch of nerds on July 26th, so make sure you follow them on YouTube and Twitch. I think it's going to be on Twitch first, YouTube later. But because he said that, I was like, all right, I'm definitely going to leave it for last because I'm hoping that this is the better trailer of all of them, and I'm banking that most of these trailers are going to suck. So I waited till the end, and I was so happy watching that trailer. I, the only things I'm going to nitpick when it came to that trailer were I was like, God damn, this movie seems a lot like Avatar, and then they
Yeah.
even took ships straight out of Dune, which maybe Dune took them from the first Black Panther. I can't remember what all those ships look like, but those things aside, it was listed as a teaser, and I didn't understand why it was a 2-minute teaser. And then I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, you legit teased us for 2 minutes. Like you just saw
Yeah.
characters, you saw that there's conflict, you saw that the Wakandans are going to fight the Atlanteans, that the Wakandans are turning their back on the world. We'll say
Yep.
the UN for lack of better phrasing. Um, so they teased all that stuff, and they also teased something I didn't think was a tease. Like, I thought going into this movie, it was understood his sister was going to be Black Panther, but apparently everybody's like, wait, no, who's the Black Panther at the end of the movie? That's not her. So, you know, are they going to somehow bring back Michael B. Jordan? I don't know. I wish they would just stop fucking killing off their villains in general so we don't have to have these kinds
Yeah.
of issues. But I didn't know that there was like a question as to who Black Panther was going to be going forward, but apparently there is. I don't know. What'd you think?
Uh, to address that, yeah, I feel like I'm not sure it's going to be her, even though it only would make sense. But I feel like I feel like I'm not sure it's going to be her because of like things I've heard about like off screen that were
Mm.
happening and like that they've discussed. So, but yeah, like it was a mystery from that one. Just watching the teaser, it's like I'm not sure it's her uh, as the new Black Panther. So I'm excited to see how she gets there. It kind of sucks that obviously we have to do the origin story again, but obviously they can't help that we have to do that again.
Right.
But I just hope that like this is the one like I'm excited of all these trailers. Like this one, I'm actually gonna I want to go see.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's going to break
it's
records. It's going to break
like
all the records.
yeah, and it yeah, and excuse me, I said trailer, a teaser because like you said, we're teased for everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh wow, okay, I'm excited. I don't know what the hell is going on. You know, maybe it's going to be more fucking comedy the entire way through, or maybe it's going to be dark as shit. I have no idea because it is a proper teaser. Like you know, there's some action scenes, there's some emotional moments. Uh, the I'm shocked that they actually revealed Namor. Uh,
Outside of
that one,
just
I was
the
just like,
behind him shots, like them showing his actual face and stuff.
yeah, like in general, like I'm just like, wow, they okay, they did it,
Yeah.
and I feel like that because they did it here. I don't know. I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like that should have been like a grander moment, you know, like kind of along the lines of Charlie Cox back in the Daredevil suit, like because Namor is a big character,
Yeah.
you know, and like I don't know, it just I was just like,
Did you not know he was in this
I was
movie?
like, why are you showing me this? I had heard things, but like I've kind of unless it's required for something we're going to talk about, which I mean, I guess this what it wasn't required. Like I don't read too much of the stuff that comes out. Like you
Right.
know, I don't want to get spoiled on too much stuff. So I was
Right.
shocked, and I was like, oh wow, uh, you know. So and actually, also going back, does it seem like they get invaded too by maybe like a
Oh, for
military?
sure. For sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to say just American military, but it could be anybody. But yeah, so it seems like Wakanda might actually get invaded, which that's interesting too, because like how many fronts are they going to be fighting on?
Well,
Uh,
my theory, spoiling again my own trailer reaction, is it's gonna be like it's gonna be like Aquaman, Throne of Atlantis, the animated series, um, and things are gonna happen. The Wakandans get blamed, and then it turns out it's the Atlanteans are doing it, or there's a cell go like in there on either side that's sabotaging stuff. But then the government goes after Wakanda, thinking it's them. They're like, no, it's not us. And then battles ensue. But Namor is a more, for lack of a better phrase, vicious character than Aquaman. Like he does think he runs shit. So I don't doubt he's just like, I'm tired of people taking you out. But I'm excited for that. I'm definitely excited for Atlanteans versus people of Wakanda. I think it's gonna be dope.
yeah, yeah, no, I mean that all that like it looks good.
Yeah.
Like not to be too reductive, but it just looks good. And of the other ones we've talked about, this is the only one that had me from start to finish.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so good job, Marvel.
Yeah.
uh, on
Uh,
this one. go
Riri
back and
Williams,
work on She-Hulk.
thoughts there?
Yeah, I didn't catch that at first. I watched it twice, and I was just like, and I'd seen something where they were like, "Oh, Ironheart teaser," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I'm looking for like the Ironheart teaser itself, and I'm like, "No, why am I getting redirected to Wakanda Forever?" And I'm like, "Did I miss it?" And I totally missed it.
That's funny.
Uh, is she like I'm not familiar. Is she? Why did I think she was like a kid from Jersey who
She is
has
from,
some sort of a connect?
yeah, from Brooklyn or something. Um,
Yeah. So like, why is she in this? I don't understand why she's here then. Why is she in Wakanda? Is that in the comics?
um, I don't want to. It's not like a major spoiler or anything, but she's a genius, so it's safe to assume that she meets his sister, who's also a genius. At the end of the
Uh-huh.
first movie, they make the institute. They're like, "This is we're gonna." It's in L.A., I think that one, but they're like, "We're gonna build a
Yeah.
university." Blah blah blah. So she probably goes there, or probably attends something, and it meets the sister, and then they take her back to Wakanda, or she is like, "Oh, you guys need help. I can help you," because they have to. They essentially are gonna have to replace the Iron Man influence as far as like being a role model, but still have
Yeah.
her create an Iron Man suit. Or maybe they don't even do that. Maybe she creates a whole Black Panther styled suit. That'd be cool. I'm down for them to change
Yeah.
lore on Ironheart. I don't think she's a cool character, but I don't think the fan base is that big that you couldn't make some or take some creative liberties without people getting too upset.
Yeah. Although somebody's gonna get upset about something.
Yeah, usually it's us.
Yeah. Nature of the game these days.
Yeah,
Uh, Real quick, did you have you finished Stranger Things?
it's funny. I predicted that this show could actually go the whole hour just on the trailers, and sure enough, it kind of
Yeah,
did.
and you were right.
um, I did, I did. Do you want to? How about this? I'll play moderator for a second.
Sure.
Why don't we do a quick thoughts on the Grayman, which I saw, Young Justice that you saw, and then we'll collectively review Stranger Things with spoilers at the end.
That works. Uh, Gray Man first.
Sure. Um, Grayman, I'm not going to spoil anything. It's on Netflix. Just came out. Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans are in it. And all I will say, because I feel like for a lot of movies, it's always good to go in not really knowing a lot. But what I will say is Ryan Gosling is like the coolest dude ever. Like he just
Yeah.
he's always in like these dope roles. And like, I think he's a really good action star. I don't think he gets enough credit for that. In this movie, I think there is slightly too much comedy, like ever so slightly, but it works
Okay.
when it comes to him and Chris Evans. Um, so, do I think it's worth you taking time out of your day to sit down and watch the whole thing? No. Is it something you could watch like some in the morning, some in the evening? I think so. I think everybody should check it out. I think if for nothing else, check it out to see Chris Evans not be Captain America. Because I feel like
Right.
even though he's done other roles, we always keep going back to Captain America, and he's a very different character here. So Ryan Gosling essentially is going to play the Blade Runner character slash the Drive character with some jokes. I mean, he does that in everything, and it works, and I love it. I want more of it. But Chris Evans plays a completely different character from Captain America. It's not different from some other roles that he's done. I'm not going to say those. Again, I want you to go in not knowing anything, but I think it's worth a
Okay.
watch. But don't change your plans to watch it.
Okay. Fair enough. Uh,
You were gonna
for
just
Young
you were probably
Justice.
just gonna drink beer and watch it tonight anyway. So I think that works.
I mean, that's probably what's still going to happen. It's
Yeah,
early enough, and I
yeah.
am, maybe
Two
not. I don't know. Actually, 2 hours.
two
Yeah,
hours and
it's
nine
early enough.
minutes. Yeah,
Oh, all right. A
yeah.
little bit less if I don't watch the trailers, credits.
Credits. Yeah.
Um, yeah, Young Justice. So
Remember when
season
Young
one and
Justice was
two.
good? Remember that?
Yeah, I do. Seasons one and two. Uh, and then yeah, just I don't know. Like, so all right. So you remember how in Justice League we got teased about all the stuff that was happening in like their personal lives a little bit here and there,
Sure.
you know? This was just like there's very little. I shouldn't say there's very, whatever. There's not enough of that. There's not enough of, excuse me. There's not enough of the Justice League elements where it's like, or even season one and two elements where it's like we get the overall the overarching villain of the season, and there's action, and there's good story development too, like we're like the bonding of the team and things like that. This is just like it's so scattered. Like they it's I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's broken up into like 3 or 4 episodes, like it's however many episodes it is for the whole season. It's like 3 or 4 episodes is like a chunk for that one, and then
Right.
some overlap of that will happen into the next 3 or 4, and so on and so forth. And it's like it's just tiring because like there were so many freaking characters. They're trying to branch off from the main team, to the point where like Nightwing isn't even in it until like the last couple of episodes, like the last 4 or 5 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it's like I should care about more of this stuff, but it's like you're taking me to Mars, and we're seeing them do all like because spoilers, McGann and Superboy are gonna get married, and it's like all this stuff that like they spend so much time showing us like
Them
Martian
prepping to
marriage
get married.
rituals,
Yeah.
prepping to get married, and it's like,
It's
do
not
I
even a
need
spoiler. That's
this?
like the first episode, so it's not even.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, and then like other episodes. I want to say her name is Rocket. We see her interact. We see that she has a kid, and I didn't watch it. I didn't go back to watch it, but I think like she in the third season. Do you remember somebody like editing their DNA of their kid? I want to say kind of, sort of. Like she
Vaguely, it's
wanted
in
to,
there.
yeah. Like they were gonna, like she was working with the Atom to fix a heart condition in in a baby. I want to say her unborn baby, but I don't know how she can shrink down into herself. And I don't freaking know. Maybe the kid was born and they were trying to do it after the fact. But I want to say it's that character, and now you find out she fucked up and her kid has autism, I believe it is, or something. And you kind of see it's like she's a shitty mom, like she's trying to rush the kid out of the house to get to his father's, because she's got to go on a mission to Apocalypse. And it's like, ooh, really? Ooh, that's what you, ooh, okay.
I legit
And
forgot you were talking about Young
you
Justice. I thought you were talking about like some drama. Like I thought you were talking about a soap opera,
yeah, no, I'm
and then you
sorry.
mentioned Apocalypse, and you
That's the
brought him
thing.
back
I'm
in.
like, yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And it's like they keep trying to shoehorn all these other characters in. Meanwhile, it was like they should have focused on like, even if you keep it just at like season two's members, change out a couple here or there. It just seems like they were really trying to stuff a lot of people into this. They were trying to stuff a lot of like social commentary into this,
Yeah.
which, maybe for like the younger fans, but it's like it was just too much for me, and it was just like the final handful of episodes, it kind of started to come back together. It came like spoilers or no spoilers. I already kind of screwed it up and
Uh,
did spoilers.
I mean, you didn't really spoil much. I try to.
Well, all right, I won't. I'll keep it non then. But like in the end, in the last couple of episodes, like you get your familiar faces back, and like they come together to fight the big bad, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like this is like the show I wanted to watch, but it took it took a
It's a
whole
long
lot of zigging
season.
and zagging to get back there. It's a long season, but and again, it's like we've said with other things. If you just edited it a lot better, you could have given us whatever 12 quality episodes
Right.
instead of like I think it was like 20 plus,
It is 20 plus.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was just like I watched it out of obligation, which is never good, and then I promptly forgot about it because this is the first time I'm talking about it, obviously, and I finished it a while back.
Yeah.
So if there's a season five, I hope they go back to basics, and I hope they shrink it down and keep it tight. But if this is the last season, I wouldn't be surprised, and I would be sad because this show was really great for the first two seasons, and then you know,
I might even. I'm just going to double check that I have my season count right because I was thinking about certain parts of it. How many seasons is? Okay, it is
while
4.
you're doing that and talk, it is four.
Yeah. Um.
Am I wrong, or weren't they gonna bring back the original Teen Titans cartoon from the early 2000s? Wasn't that like a teaser at the end of the Teen Titans Go movie where like
Yeah.
you see that? Yeah, and was it just was them coming back just like the crossover they had with the Teen Titans Go?
I don't. I feel like I watched part of that movie and I don't remember how it ends.
Yeah, it like I don't know. They do something where like it ends up being Teen Titans Go and their Trigon and the regular Teen Titans and their Trigon, and they end up bringing in Teen Titans from across the multiverse,
Oh right, right.
and it's yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was hoping for like a sequel series, and if that's all I'm gonna get, then that's annoying. Whoops, I did it again.
That's all right. I mean, it's all right. I do want to say one thing on Young Justice before we get to Stranger Things. And it's funny because Stranger Things has a lot of teen drama stuff going on in the season. Um, Young Justice, the first two seasons, the drama that was happening, like at times helped the story go along, and it also just gave you like a backstory to like these characters have character. Um, I'm thinking about the story arc with. I got confused on this part. Was it Speedy and Cheshire Cat, or was it no, not Speedy? Yeah, because
yeah,
he got
Speedy,
because Speedy was captured, nobody knew it, and then
right?
the other one showed up, Red Arrow, and I think
You well, it's sorry to cut you off. It's always so it was the whole clone thing,
right,
and the Speedy that we saw the entire series, the entire first season, excuse me,
right,
who went on to become Red Arrow
Arsenal.
was no
Oh no, you're right,
Red
you're right,
Arrow,
you're right. Yep,
yeah, Red Arrow was a clone,
yes,
and it's the clone, so it's Red Arrow and Cheshire Cat have a thing
yeah,
that we kind of see happening in the first season.
yeah. And then season 2, you have the whole thing that they actually had a kid, and he didn't know about the kid or something, like, and that kind of stuff was like sprinkled in there, but it wasn't like an entire episode about them talking about having a kid. And then in this
Right.
season, I was just like, can we get to the point here? And to your point, man, the first 3, it may have even been like 6 episodes where they go to Mars. I visually
Yeah.
couldn't watch those. Like that, I commend them on trying something different to be like, oh, because we're on Mars, visually there's this overtone of blur
Yeah.
and the colors, but
Yeah.
like I actually like my eyes were like, nah. And I skipped. And then something happens and I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go back. And I went back and watched what happened to see what happened. But I was like, this was rough. And an issue that that the second season had from the first season that was a slight issue was there's a time jump and they introduced new characters and people have changed and you feel
Yeah.
like you missed something, but you're just like, oh, like 2 years passed. In this one, in season 4, they like introduced like 50 people and
Yeah.
talk about stuff like it happened in the third season, but I can't even reference any of it. I actually had to go online and read who is this character to be like, okay, this is why this other character is trying to kill this character. Like, they don't even do a minor skip. They just like entire
Yeah.
story arcs happened off screen, and they're just like expecting you to just be like, yeah, sure, keep going.
Yeah. And like I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed the second season, but I also was just like, "Oh, man, I get it. You don't want it to be Teen Titans, but it
Right,
wouldn't have been Teen Titans because just by virtue of the fact that you show their mentors
right.
and everything. Uh, but yeah, I wanted to see more of that original team, like you know what I mean. I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to see
yeah,
more of the season one team,
yeah.
and then they do so like it's weird because there's it seems like they're sticking to your heroes are dead.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like they do resurrections. Uh, because like I thought in the third season, so, jumping around, something that really did piss me off was finding out, and it's fucked up too, when uh Zatanna and all the girls decide to play a trick on Tigress. Tigress? What the hell's her real name? Whatever.
I know you're talking about. Yeah,
Artemis
Artemis.
to like they friggin' lie to her.
Yeah,
Instead of like doing something cool where like you hint at him being around because of the Speed Force. It's like, ah, come on! Like you're
yeah,
supposed to be to make a reference to something we're about to talk about. Friends don't lie, and you like lied to this girl in a real big bad way to the
yeah,
point where like if and when she ever finds out, she's rightfully gonna try to like break a couple of bones.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Anyway,
but yeah.
I'll say it because I don't think we say it enough on this show. Let us know in the comments if you are enjoying Young Justice, if you didn't even know there was a season 4, or if you agree that it. I don't want to say this out loud, but it probably should stop.
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
willing.
say,
I'm
do you
willing to
want a
give them.
season five?
I'm willing to give them another chance, but
I mean, listen, they're giving Titans another chance, and
God,
that just is such a head
I
scratcher
don't.
to
I don't
me.
understand. I don't. People love that show, dude. I went down a
I don't
rabbit
get
hole.
that.
I went down a rabbit hole one day, and I was like, "Holy shit! You guys are not bots. Like, you actually like this show."
Like I've said, that show is really well cast. It's just the writing and the execution that are terrible, you know. But
Yeah,
man,
I hope one day we can make our own show or be executive producers or something to to
yeah,
to just. And you know what? Maybe this whole process is so ridiculously hard we don't understand because we only see the final product. But sometimes I'm just like, there's no way. There's no
well,
way.
I mean, but they have to. The thing is, they have to see the final product too, and it's like like just real quick talking about the last season of Titans. Can't you see that having Batman kill the Joker and then run off screen and then try to randomly commit suicide by dousing his a castle in fucking gasoline and all this other shit? Can't you see that that's like not? Never mind that the show is not about Batman, but can't you just see like that's very not Batman?
Yeah.
And then can't you go back and like think like that the way they're reacting to all this isn't really very superhero-y. Can't you go back and think that a big T sign instead of a bat signal is a little bit of a bad idea? You know, and all and I can't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it right now. I can't do it right
I
now.
can't even.
Take us home, Steve, please.
All right.
Wrestling term for those who don't know.
Yeah. Actually, I think SummerSlam's tonight. Um, so Stranger Things. We'll try our best to
Yes.
keep it in like 5 minutes. Um, I actually skipped season 3 because I wasn't digging it. Jumped into season 4 because people were talking nonstop about it, and I caught part of an episode because Amanda was watching it, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good." And then I watched the whole thing. Um, Spoilers, or are we? Are you good talking spoilers on this one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Spoil. I'm good. Spoilers await.
spoilers away. Um, I I like where the show was going. I like that there's, to me, this is one of the few shows or franchises where like I do believe they made a beginning and they have an end and they're getting us there. Like I feel like things
Yes.
are happening. The only two things that threw me off were, and then I'll talk about what my theories were before I watched it. The new bad guy, Vecna, right? Is that how you say it?
Vecna. Yep.
Vecna. Um, because I don't think he was visibly there every season, so that I was like, that's kind of weird. Um, but then that doctor died, right, in like the first season or something.
I have to go back and rewatch that because I'm pretty sure the Demogorgon
Jumped him.
is that what it was? Jumped him and like yeah. However, I read or I saw a brief thing on Instagram where it was like we got obviously I don't think they've said specifically how he survived, but they were like, think about this though. And as so spoilers again, spoilers. You find out that Vecna is pretty much a kid like 11 who had powers and he was born and raised after World War II, so he was a kid in the mid 50s, early 60s. He he kills his mother because she called in a doctor to like help him, and the doctor is Papa. I actually don't remember his character's real name.
Same.
Uh, yeah, and then anyway, so they were like, why would he get called in to deal with this sort of stuff, and why would he like how does he have an insight into this sort of stuff unless he has some sort of an ability himself? Just
Yeah.
so it's like okay, maybe and it's like it's just not like maybe he couldn't develop it himself, but like anything else, like you see with 11, if it's a do or die situation, his powers can manifest, and
Right.
maybe that's how he got away. But that's a stretch, and that was weird because like I'd have to rewatch it, but I'm fairly certain in the last episode of season one, it's him and a bunch of soldiers, and the Demogorgon just tackles him, and then we're all like, yeah, thinking that
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's a character you love to hate.
Yeah.
But so that was weird. But I definitely agree with you. I feel like these guys, the Duffer brothers, Dunder brothers,
Something like that. Let me look it up right now.
Dunder Mifflin. That's not right. Duffer. I feel like these guys had an idea, had a very well planned idea, and I don't even like again same thing like
Duffer.
season three Duffer, season three like I was like could have edited a little bit better, but I didn't hate it. Like I still watched every episode and was just like oh okay cool like again maybe edit it down a little bit, but this season was just on all cylinders, full steam ahead. Like wow.
Yeah. There was
Uh,
there was one. So I had a list of my predictions as I was watching the show. A couple of them I got right. Some of them I got wrong. The one that I'm most proud I got right was that Vecna was the Candy Stripe or the nurse, whatever dude in the facility. I was pretty sure it was the same person. What I
right.
got wrong about that was that I thought potentially he was a figment of Eleven's imagination, and that Vecna was real in the Upside Down, but projecting into her mind because there's a whole lot of mental projection that happens on the show. Um,
Right.
but what I thought was an amazing scene was when Max is escaping the Upside Down, when they first played that song that destroyed the iTunes charts. Um, I thought that was so well shot, and the build up when she's running
Yes.
out, the things are falling. I thought she actually died because you don't see her actually like jump through the portal or anything. I thought she actually died, and then Vecna possessed her body, and then was going to reveal himself to be like in the group. But then at the end of the show, when she kind of dies, I think he actually will be in her mind at that point because 11 goes in her mind, and Max is not there.
Right.
And the portal opened up, and the only way the portal can open up is if you actually do die. So
Yeah.
I think Vecna probably possessed her mind.
Yeah. Well, they say or Papa said, or Vecna said, one of them friggin' said that like he remembers everyone he killed. He
Mhm.
like absorbs some of them. So I feel like, yeah, she's in a coma. She's probably brain dead. He didn't like get the job done 100%. But I feel like that'll be like a thing where Max's consciousness is in Vecna in the
Mm.
fifth season, and I mean, it's a pretty for except for the upside down and the superpowers. Like, if you're not one of those, like you seem to be a pretty like standard human. Like,
Yeah.
she's really fucked up. So I don't. I think like she'll probably not. My prediction would be she doesn't survive season 5. And I was completely wrong. Like, just watching the trailer, I saw the part where she rises up in the cemetery, and I was thinking like somehow Eleven's powers got transferred into Max by
Mm.
accident.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that was what was going to happen, and that 11 was going to kind of take on like a mentor role to her, basically, because she has, the powers. So I was completely
Mm.
wrong on that one. Uh, I did think it was cool how they tied in the mind flare, like that you only ever see, like as being one of Vecna's drawings as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
really fucked up kid. I am kind of sad that he's like, and stop me if I'm wrong, but it seems like there were the monsters in the Upside Down, but that he is the big bad. Like the Mind Flayer is him, right?
I
There's no bigger bad. It's Vecna.
I think there's a bigger bad.
You think there is? Because like I know they said like in the show, obviously, like, oh, imagine it's the Mind Flayer's top general, but then they show you that the Mind Flayer is the drawing that he had.
Because the
So
mind flare I
unless,
think was communicating, or he could see it somehow. Like I still don't think they've explained how the upside down even like really works with everything. Like I don't think that's been detailed yet. So when he got to the upside down, there were creatures there, and then there was the giant creature, which I think is supposed to be the mind flare.
yeah, no, that is supposed to be the Mind Flayer. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I wasn't after this season. I was just like a little confused because I and let me know if you have. Please let me know in the comments if you have a definitive answer on this. To my understanding, it's Vecna one, whatever the hell his real name was,
Mm-hmm.
who's been the big bad of the up, like the Upside Down had the monsters, the Demogorgons, and what have you,
Yeah.
but he kind of like made it this representation of Hawkins, and he's like, to me, he is the biggest bad. It seems like, because I mean that like at the end of the episode, at the end of the season, Will's they're saying it's Vecna. Like, Will's like, no, Vecna's still out there,
Mm.
this and that, or so I don't know. But that was a great, like, yeah, like Hopper and all the stuff in Russia. Murray, fucking surprise character that I ended up really rooting for. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, they brought this freaking guy back. Now I'm like, yeah, Murray, all
Yeah.
right. Uh,
It's weird how you could have comedy inside of a franchise and it not be overwhelming. It's wild.
yeah, it's almost like people should pay attention to these guys.
Yeah.
Almost.
Um
Uh,
it yeah,
yeah,
I'm shocked. I have to say I thought the series was like on its way out. Um I thought it was a fad,
yeah,
especially getting out of season 3, and then I was like, "Holy shit, this is a really good show."
yeah. No, it definitely like I'm gonna say, can I say this? Can I say it was the best thing I've watched this year? I mean,
No, Top Gun's better.
Top Gun is better, but
TV show versus
in
TV
this,
show wise.
not even TV show. Top Gun is a traditional summer blockbuster
Sure.
in the whole superhero world that we're
Supernatural
in. The
thing.
superhero, the power is a sci-fi top because Top Gun is very not sci-fi. Top Gun is an amazing film. I'm not going to say movie. That seems like less. It's a feature film. Uh, but in the sci-fi nerd superhero world, I don't know. Can I say that anything really topped this season of Stranger Things?
Uh,
I don't know if I can. I'll think about that. I'll have to maybe list and do my own ranking of what I've watched this year so far.
all right. So I'm not gonna say it's a. I'm not gonna say it's better than Stranger Things because it's only had one season, and Stranger Things this is season 4. And they're building
Yeah.
to a climax, right? So I think we do. I think it's the same thing of like people comparing Endgame to uh, uh, insert first movie of anything. Like I think it's kind of hard to do that. Um,
Okay.
I will say for the billionth time, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds is pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. Do I think it's Stranger Things? No, I think Stranger Things has a lot going for it, including even just the music and nostalgia factor, like that. That I think drives a lot of the narrative of Stranger Things. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds has nostalgia because it's an old crew, but I think if you're a Star Trek fan, I think it should be required watching. I think it was really good.
Okay. I still have to get to that. I'm sorry. I also still have to get to Cobra Kai.
Oh, I've stopped watching that at season 1, so I'm too far gone.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. We can talk about that off screen.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on it. It's definitely. I'm thinking of all the other stuff we've watched. I mean, Kenobi's great, but I don't
Stranger
know.
Things way
This
better.
is. Yeah, I'm saying like it. I have less yeah buts about
Kenobi should
Stranger
have
Things than
Kenobi
I do
should
about
have blew
Kenobi.
that out. Like you talk
Oh
about
yeah,
build up. I mean, holy shit! Like, it's got 40 years of freaking build up.
yeah. So this is a topic for another episode, I think.
Yeah. Should we
So
fire Sal?
well, no, no. We
Okay.
shouldn't fire Sal because I mean I would be on the chopping block right next to him. But
Well, because I was
no,
wondering, it was like failure to perform your duty. Like, Sal, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
don't say that. Be nice. Now he's gonna go. I know him. He's gonna hit his head against the wall. He's gonna be very sad and upset.
It's only because I
Sal,
want to have a group discussion about Kenobi and now Thor. That's the
I
only
know.
reason. We love you,
Like
Sal.
I said, Sal, get us your schedule. We have to make it work.
Yeah.
If we have not had this discussion by the end of the first week of August, I will resign as well.
Please don't. I need
Uh,
other people to
uh,
help me make content.
if we do not have this discussion by the end of the first week in August, I will spend $200 on nerd affiliated merchandise.
Sure.
I said it. The internet holds me accountable. So, Sal, please, I have repairs to a house to make. I can't. I can't. Please, Sal, let's have a conversation.
Yeah. Well,
Insert a cat or puppy dog eyes, not a cat. Puppy
yeah.
dog eyes. Cute puppy dog eyes, please. Uh, but yes. So, what? Please, sir. What was the Hey Archer Thursday nights, 8:15 ish? The other show you're going to be on soon.
A
Plug it
bunch
again,
of
please.
nerds on Twitch on Tuesday the 26th. I forget what time it is, but there'll be a link down below.
Yes. And where else can we find you on the interwebs?
At Hey Archer, nerdaffiliated.com. Oh, and Hey Archer 1 on YouTube. I do shorts now. I retired from
Which are
toy
a
hunting
lot of fun.
vlogs.
You're retired until, like, until something comes along, and then next thing you know, you're going to be like, so, here we are again.
There is a project I'm currently about to begin, but it will not be weekly vlogs.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
So am I.
As for myself, I'm Rambling Nerd on Instagram. We also have Reddit Nerd Affiliated, where Sal is the main guy there. Have lively discussions with all of us off when it's not a live or in comments in real time. We'll try to get some stuff going. But yeah, thank you all for sticking with us this long. I know it went long. It's kind of the nature of what we do on this particular show. And yeah, tune in Thursday, 8:15. Watch this guy and his assortment of guests. It's a fun time. And yeah, play that outro, please.
Peace.
Night.